screen with all of you. And parents, you're welcome if you have questions along the way or comments, you're welcome to drop them into the chat if you don't mind, and we'll certainly address them along the way, but in an effort to kind of keep everything moving along, if you want to add them to the chat, Mrs. Brune is with me here and she's sort of monitoring that chat so that we can answer all your questions along the way. So welcome to kindergarten, everyone. Isn't that a cute monster? I like him. I think he's cute. So welcome to kindergarten here at Mountain Way School. I am so excited that you're all going to be joining us this year for kindergarten. Kindergarten is so much fun. And like I said before, for those of you that are just joining us, we have a bunch of helpers that are with us today that will introduce themselves to you, and you'll get to meet some of those people. So just really quickly, wait a second. I think I look like a monster in that picture. Hang on. There we go. That's a little bit better. So I am Mrs. Lyon Bailey. I'm the principal here at Mountain Way School. And like I said, I'm a helper friend. So I'm here to help you if you have any questions. And for the parents, I'm also the director of technology and innovation for the school district. Boys and girls, that means that I get to be in charge of all the computers in the school district. This is my 7th year here in Morris Plains. I started as a supervisor of technology, and my role has transitioned over the years. And Morris Plains is such an amazing, special, beautiful community, and I feel very blessed to be here and to be part of this school and part of the community. I do have 2 children of my own. So I have a daughter, Lilia, who's going into 3rd grade, and I have a son, Jack, who is 3 years old. So I have kids of my own, so I know what it's like to be a parent, making decisions right now and helping to navigate the start of school. And we're all in this together. So boys and girls, I already told you my joke, but I will tell it again for the friends that hadn't joined us just yet. So we start every day at Mountain Way School with a joke of the day. So today's joke is, knock, knock, Mrs. Brune.
Who's there?
Cargo.
Cargo who?
No, silly. Car goes beep, beep, vroom, vroom. So boys and girls, every morning on the morning announcements, we'll tell a joke, and it helps us smile and laugh and start our day in a positive way. All right, so let's meet our helpers. So we have a lot of helpers in our building. Nurse G is one of our helpers, and you're going to see her in our video in a few moments. Dr. Carlisle is another one of our helpers. She's actually our guidance counselor, and she gets to help friends with all sorts of things. And you'll get to meet her when school starts. But one helper that I have with me right now is Mrs. Brune. So I'm going to give her a second to introduce herself. I need to mute. Hold on.
Oh, they're just showing you.
All right, we're trying to navigate virtual orientation in the same room.
Why aren't you there?
Okay. Okay. Hi, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Brune. I'm the secretary in the main office. So if you need anything, you can't find something, you don't know something, just stop in, ask me. I'll be in the hallway. I'll be in my office. I'm right smack in the middle of the building, so you can see me anytime. So just ask away. I'm here to help all of you.
Your volume's not on. Okay, I'm back. All right, so boys and girls, we're going to meet some really, really special folks who are here in our school. Those are your teachers. Who's excited to meet their teacher? Give me a thumbs up if you're excited to meet your teacher. We have the most amazing kindergarten teachers in the whole entire world here at Mountain Way School. So you are all so super special because you're all going to have one of them, and you're all going to see all of them when you're here at school. So I am going to have our kindergarten teachers introduce themselves. Mrs. Anders, would you like to begin? Mrs. Anders works with Mrs. Cecere and Ms. Beek, so they're going to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about themselves.
Good afternoon, boys and girls. It's nice to see everybody. I'm so excited for school to start on Tuesday. I want you to know that I'm very excited to meet you in person. And even though I might look like this, I'm going to be smiling behind my mask the entire time. A little bit about me. I live in Morris Plains, so you might see me around town. My favorite color is pink. I love the beach, and my favorite thing to do is read. So reading on the beach is a double win for me. Boys and girls, I have two wonderful people in the classroom with me. Mrs. Sasir, would you like to say hello?
Yes.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm Mrs. Sasir, and I work with Mrs. Anders in kindergarten. I grew up in Mars Plains and went to kindergarten in this building too. I love cats. I have 2 grown children, and I'm so excited to meet you.
And also in my classroom, I have Miss Beak.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm Miss Meek. Some of you may have seen me before. I used to be in preschool the last few years, but now I'm in kindergarten. This is Anders. I'm very excited. A little bit about me. I actually went to Mountain Way School too, and I live around the corner from Mrs. Anders, so I'm sure you'll see me around town too.
So boys and girls, as you can see in room 13, where you're going to come Tuesday, we are Mars Plains homegrown. We are just living here. We were educated here, and now we're working with you. So we're looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday. Goodbye, my friends.
Thanks, Mrs. Anders. That was an amazing intro from you and Mrs. Sasir and Ms. Beek. So thank you all so much. Mrs. Dalton, would you like to introduce yourself to our new friends?
I would. Hello, boys and girls. So nice to see so many of your faces. I see some familiar faces, some faces from preschool. So wonderful to see all of you, and I look forward to meeting those of you that I haven't met yet. I work with a wonderful lady that you'll get to meet in a minute named Mrs. Haran. She is fabulous. A couple fun things about me. This is my 12th year teaching kindergarten at Mountain Way School. At home, I have a first grader named Charlie. And I have a preschooler named Lily. She's 4. And something exciting that happened for us this summer is we adopted a seeing eye dog. She can't do her job, so we got to take her home. And we love her very much. Her name is Olympia. She's a 2-year-old German Shepherd. So we have a new member of our family. So that was really exciting. And just like Mrs. Anders said, I also love to read. I read lots of books this summer, even a whole bunch of kids' books with my kids. So now I'd like to introduce you to Mrs. Haran. Here she is.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mrs. Haran. I've been with Mrs. Dalton now this is going on my 3rd year. All 3 of my children went to Mountain Way School. And I think the fun fact about me is I have 3 big dogs, and you'll get to hear all about them. Can't wait to meet all of you.
Thanks so much, Mrs. Dalton and Mrs. Haran. Thanks for introducing yourselves. Mrs. Graziani and Ms. Pimienta, would you like to introduce yourselves to our friends?
Hi, boys and girls. It's me under here. I'm Mrs. Graziani. I'm in room 12 with Miss Tiffany. Another fun fact, I grew up in Mars Plains. I still live in Mars Plains. I just had a baby in March, a baby boy. And I have a dog who is his best friend. And I walk around town, so you'll see me all around town all the time.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm Miss Tiffany. I'm so excited to see all of you guys next week. Some fun facts about me. This is my 2nd year with Mrs. Graziani. I'm so excited to be back. I have a little puppy. Her name is Izzy. She is a toy poodle, and you'll hear so much about her because she's the best thing ever. And my favorite color is purple, like my mask. So I can't wait to see all of you guys.
Thanks so much. And Mrs. Hendershot and Mrs. Carton, could you introduce yourselves to our new friends?
Good afternoon, boys and girls. I am Mrs. Hendershot here in room 11 with Mrs. Carton, and we are getting ready for you to join us on Tuesday. We are so excited.
Near you needs to turn their volume off.
Okay, I think is it better?
There you go. You're better.
Okay, great. So I don't live in Morris Plains, but I do love to teach in Morris Plains, and this will be my 14th year teaching in the district. At home, I have a first grader named Cole, and the past spring, when we were at home a lot, he learned how to ride his bike as a 2-wheeler. So I'm curious how many of you are going to learn this year how to ride 2-wheelers. We went on a lot of bike rides this spring and summer. And another fun fact about us is that we have a dog at home, a big black dog named Lucy. And now I'd like to turn it over to Mrs. Carton.
I'm Mrs. Carton, and I have lived in Morris Plains for over 30 years, and I live at home with my husband and 2 kids.
Hang on, Mrs. Carton, hang on one second. Mrs. Carton, hang on one second.
Okay.
Is somebody in the kindergarten wing, if you have your volume on, can you just turn it off because she's picking up your feedback? Listen until she's done.
So,
Sorry, everyone. Hang on one second.
So I've lived in Morris Plains for over 30 years, and I have 2 grown kids, Megan and Scott, who have both gone through the school system. So I'm so excited to be here, and this is my 2nd year with Mrs. Hendershot, and I'm very excited to see you guys. Bye.
Thanks so much, Mrs. Carton, Mrs. Hendershot. So boys and girls, those are all of our kindergarten teachers and helpers and all the people that you're going to get to spend your time with this school year. And we're super excited because they're the best that there is. So one thing that we like to do at kindergarten orientation, but we can't do it because you're not here right now, is go on a tour of the building. So I created a little video tour of the building. Would you like me to show it to you? Give me a thumbs up if you want to see my video tour. All right, here we go. I am going to share my screen. Here we go. Oops. Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to Mountain Way School. I'm Mrs. Ryan Bailey, and I'm the principal here, and I am super excited to welcome you to kindergarten in Mountain Way. What an exciting thing. I thought it would be nice if we went on a little tour of our school so that you could get to know the building a little bit better. I know this year might seem a little different because of our masks and needing to kind of keep our distance from each other. But don't worry, you're still going to love Mountain Way School. Let's head inside and take a look around. This is the main entrance of Mountain Way School. And when visitors come, they come through these doors right here. And they stop and speak to Mrs. Baza, who sits at this desk right here. She's not here right now. But boys and girls, when you walk by Mrs. Baza's desk, make sure you wave and say hello, because she's super friendly. She greets everyone that comes into Mountain Way School. Boys and girls, one of the really neat things about Mountain Way is it's just one hallway. So it makes it super easy to get around. You can see behind me this really long hallway, and your kindergarten classrooms are all the way at the end. We're going to go take a peek in a second. But first, I want to show you a room that's right over here. This room is the gym. Now, we won't be using this room when school starts this year, but eventually, you'll be coming to the gym where you'll have Mr. Fiore as your gym teacher. Also, once we don't need our masks anymore and we're able to be closer together, you'll eat lunch in this space as well. And when we're lucky enough to bring assemblies to school, this stage, which is being used to store a bunch of stuff right now, is where our assemblies will take place. I like to consider this like the living room of our school, because it's where our whole school comes together to spend time as a family. Boys and girls, I just found one of our very special helpers in the building. This is Nurse G.
Hi friends, I'm so excited to meet you in person. I know you can't tell I'm smiling under this, but I am because I am so excited to meet you. I'll see you in a few days.
Thanks, Nurse G. Boys and girls, this is the main office, and I'm about to introduce you to a super special friend. Over here, we have Miss Brune. Hi, Mrs. Brune. Boys and girls, if you ever have a question or you need help, you can always come see Mrs. Brune because she's a big helper in this school. Boys and girls, here's two more special friends. This is Mr. Fernando and Miss Monica, and they help keep our building safe and clean. You'll see them around school too. Okay, boys and girls, here we are in the kindergarten wing. That's right, you have a wing as kindergartners. How fun is that? All your classrooms are right near each other, and there's 4 of them. The first classroom is Mrs. Hendershot's room. Then, if I keep going down the hallway a little bit, you'll notice that it's a super fun hallway. Our next classroom over here is Mrs. Anders' classroom. And if I keep going down the hallway, our next classroom is Mrs. Graziani's classroom. And then the last classroom in the hallway is Mrs. Dalton's classroom. Let's go in and take a peek. So if I come in Mrs. Dalton's classroom, I can give you an idea of what a kindergarten classroom looks like. This is a kindergarten classroom in Mountain Way, boys and girls. You'll notice that each of you will have your own desk. And that desk will have all the things you need for kindergarten. There's a teacher's desk, there's a smart board, and there's a whole bunch of other fun things in this classroom. And you know what's extra special about our kindergarten classrooms? Let me show you. Over here, each kindergarten classroom has its own bathroom. So you won't need to worry about walking down that super long hallway to get to the bathroom, because there's a bathroom and a sink right inside your classroom. Makes it super easy. Boys and girls, your teachers are so excited to welcome you to your classrooms. And for those of you who are going to be our virtual friends, we can't wait to see your smiling face every day. Well, boys and girls, that concludes our tour of Mountain Way School. I can't wait to welcome everybody to kindergarten on Tuesday. It's going to be an amazing year here at Mountain Way. See you real soon. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the building. Did everybody enjoy the tour? It's a super special, fun school. And there are so many wonderful, wonderful people here. And we're all so excited to welcome all of you to Mountain Way. So that video, I'm going to share it with all of your parents. So if you want to watch it again, because maybe you didn't catch part of it or you wanted to see something again, you'll be able to go back and watch it again. And then when you get here on Tuesday, there will be helpers all over the building that are going to help you find your way. And you'll see me Tuesday morning outside smiling and waving and welcoming all of you to Mountain Way School. Okay, boys and girls, I have some grown-up stuff that I need to talk to moms and dads about for kindergarten. So I'm going to say goodbye to my kindergarten friends, and I'm going to ask my kindergarten parent friends to hang on so that we can talk about a few things. So boys and girls, it was so nice to meet you. My kindergarten teachers are all waving goodbye, and we'll see you soon. Okay. Parents, I apologize. I know there was a little bit of an echo during the video. Mrs. Bruin and I are in the same room, both logged in as me. So I will share the video. So if you wanted to watch it again, you're welcome to do so. You can watch it over and over. You can make popcorn if you want. And I will also share with you, I know it was already sent out, but I'll also send along with it the video that I made with some of the safety things to expect when they come to school, like wearing a mask, social distancing, things like that, so that we can start to normalize some of those practices for them. So I'm going to run through just a couple of things. Most of this information is a review from the communication that came out on Friday, but as kindergarten parents, a lot of the time we're not familiar with some of the inner workings of the school. So I just wanted to run through a few things with you. If you have questions, feel free to pop them in the chat and Mrs. Bruin will kind of feed them to me along the way, and we'll get all of your questions answered. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. Just so that I can get you some information. Okay. So, just give it a second. All right, so for arrival, every morning you will need to log into Genesis, which is where you logged in to get your teacher assignment. And there is a COVID pre-entry form that needs to be completed prior to 7:30 a.m. It's very simple. It's literally, I think it's 3 questions in total. And all it is a screening for symptoms, very similar to something you would fill out if you were to go to a doctor's office. We need that so that our nurses' offices can keep track of any potential issues or concerns that may arise. Every morning, I will be running a report out of Genesis, and any student who does not have a completed form will not be permitted to proceed to class until that form is completed. So please make sure that you are completing that form on a daily basis. You can do it as early as you want. So if you're up before your children, which I think almost every parent on earth is, I'm sure you'd like to sleep in past them though. You can go ahead and complete it before they even wake up. Just, you have to have scanned their temperature though. So that's the only caveat to that. So please make sure that you are filling out that pre-entry form every morning. Our arrival times are staggered. That's to assist with the flow of traffic. We used to have 6 school buses and we only have 1 now. And as a result, we anticipate a much larger population of cars arriving at school in the morning. So our arrival times are 8:10 to 8:20 for last names A through F, 8:15 to 8:30 for last names G through O, and 8:25 to 8:35 for last names P through Z. If you could please try to adhere to those windows, it will help with the flow of traffic. I know I've already spoken to a few parents, either, carpooling and it's different last names or a schedule conflict. Reach out to me if there's a concern, but if you could try to keep to the windows as best as possible, it will help us to get you up to the building and out and on your way as quickly as possible. When you arrive at school, we'll ask that the child open the car door. Now, a lot of our kindergartners are still in some form of a car seat, whether it's a booster or whatever. They may not have the ability to open the door. If that's the case, we will open the car door. We'll be wearing gloves. We will scan the child's temperature, and assuming the temperature is below 100.0, they will exit the vehicle and proceed directly to their classroom. Mrs. Baza is our front door monitor, so she'll actually be at the door encouraging the children to enter the building. They'll make their way down the hallway. We'll have adult helpers along the way, and they'll make their way down to their classrooms. So it's a little bit different than our normal drop-off procedures. Typically, it's just an open window of 20 minutes, and the children actually go for outdoor recess in the morning on the back playground. But in order to maintain social distancing, we have to eliminate that practice for now. Hopefully, it will all come back at some point. Question? The daily COVID form is not required for our virtual learners. You do not need to fill it out for our virtual learners. It's only for people who are entering our buildings. There is not currently a bike rack. However, there will be one. We're in the process of securing one. In the meantime, there is a fenced in area on the side of the building. So if you pull into when you drive up to on your bike, the school, when you're looking at the building to the left, if you go like along the staff parking lot, there's a preschool playground, and right next to the preschool playground is a fenced in area and the gate is open. Students who ride bikes can park their bikes in that area. It's literally right outside my office window. I'm able to see that area, and then we will have a bike rack soon. I just don't think it'll be in for Tuesday. I don't believe that Genesis has an app available, but I will look into it, and if there is one, I'll push out information about that. Genesis is always pushing out new updates, so we can also make that recommendation to them as well. So if you're a walker, ideally we'd like you to also try to stick to the time frames, recognizing sometimes you may get there a little quicker, sometimes it may be a little slower, but try to stick to the time frames as best as possible. We will have a walk-up lane where there'll be a cone, and the students will arrive on foot. They'll be scanned for their temperature and enter the building, similar to how the car traffic will. And our busing students will be scanned when they get off the bus. And if a child has a fever getting off the bus, they will be held, and we have the nurse's office has like an isolation sick room side. They'll be held there until the parent can come and pick them up. So for dismissal, our dismissal procedure is also different than it's been in the past. We will have a large number of parents arriving for dismissal or caretakers arriving for dismissal. So please know that you will not be able to park in our school parking lot solely because we don't have any parking spots. We actually don't even have enough parking spots for all of our staff. When you pull into Mountain Way School, there's a circle for those of you who are not familiar. And beyond the circle is the parking lot. It will be coned off, so you will not be able to pull your car into the parking lot. You'll be asked to park along Mountain Way and come to the property by foot. And then the pickup zone for our kindergartners is in the back of the building. So if you look at this picture on the screen, that annex on the back of the building with the white roof, that's actually where all the kindergarten classrooms are located. And that small orange arrow is actually an exterior door from the kindergarten wing. So you can access this area of the building, the area that's indicated by that yellow square. There's two ways to get to it. You can come through on foot through the parking lot and around the building where the green arrow is in the top right corner. There is a gate there, but in the words of Anna and Elsa, we will be opening up the gates for pickup. Or you can enter when you come to the front of the building. There's a walkway that goes around the library. You can't miss it. There's like a curved glass block wall. And there's a gate there that will also be open. So you can access the rear of the building in either one of those locations. And we ask that you please socially distance yourselves and wear a mask when picking up your child. Your child will exit the building from that back door, and then you can proceed back to your cars. Our staff will not be leaving the building during the dismissal time, so there will be no car activity in the parking lot, making it safe for parents and children to walk through that staff parking lot during dismissal. Right. So life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about dancing in the rain. And I like to think that we're going to dance in the rain. These are certainly challenging times. There's no denying it. This is not how any one of you anticipated your child's kindergarten experience starting, but that doesn't mean it's not going to be a wonderful experience. We are doing everything we can at Mountain Way to reimagine what the school year will look like so that it's just as wonderful and just as memorable for the children, regardless of the circumstances that the world is providing us. So please know that your child is entering into a loving, caring, wonderful school environment that maybe looks different, but it's not necessarily going to be different in a bad way. It's just going to be different. A couple of questions. Yes, email the approved release form to Mrs. Brune, please. We don't know if the COVID form is compatible with the phone version of Genesis. That's something that you'll have to do trial and error with. You can pick your child. If you have multiple children at Mountain Way, you can pick them up in whatever order you want. The teachers are all aware that, you know, we have multiple grade level parents with multiple grade level pickup locations, and they will be patient and certainly wait for you to arrive at the appropriate exit. So you can go in whatever order you want. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So the kindergarten and first grade devices, due to the manufacturer, are not in yet. They will be arriving mid-September. As soon as they are in, we are prepared to distribute them immediately. So in the meantime, our teachers will be adapting their instruction, but there will not be district-issued devices for our students in kindergarten and first grade until mid-September. When they arrive, I will send a communication out, and we are prepared to prep them and distribute them 24 hours upon arrival. There is no drop-off location map. The way that the drop-off will work is you'll pull up to the school, you'll pull your car into the circle. There'll be cones and signs and people out there. You'll pull all the way around and your child will not exit the car until you're in the circle. Oh, pickup, sorry, pickup. Well, for arrival, you'll be getting a communication from me on Friday detailing the arrival procedures, as well as the dismissal procedures, and I will include a map in that communication of both so that you have it. I will also provide access to this presentation. I'll send it out to all the kindergarten parents along with the videos after we're finished. All aftercare students, if you are accessing the YMCA aftercare program, it will be held in the gym, and you will pick your child up from the gym. And the Y should be communicating with you about their policies and procedures for pickup as well. So for our virtual friends, the teachers will be prepping materials and they will be in communication with you about picking them up when they're ready. And then the teachers will replenish materials as needed, depending upon how their instruction is planned and what type of materials and resources are necessary. So your classroom teachers will be in communication with you about that. Yeah, so I would believe that the Y would release the children at the gym door entrance. But again, that will really be up to them in terms of protocols. So they should be sending a communication out, and I can follow up with the Y and ask that they please send that out. The parents are inquiring. Should I keep going? Okay, I'm going to keep going while she gets questions together. All right. So COVID safety information. So as I said, there is a COVID entry form. Please make sure you complete it by 7:30 every morning so that we can run the report. So that way we're able to, not hold up the children getting to their classrooms. As I said, temperatures will be taken upon arrival. Masks must be worn at all times in the building. The only time the children can take off their masks are when they're outside and socially distanced in an appropriate manner and when they have snack. So the students will be having snack. The district has purchased face shields for every child. So during snack time, the children will be asked to put their shield on. They can take their mask off. We're going to ask the children to put their mask on their wrist like this so that we don't have masks laying on the desks and falling on the floors. The children will consume their snack and then they will put their mask back on. And then if they want to take their shield off, they can. The shields can be used at their discretion. We do ask that you please be mindful of packing snacks that are quick to consume. We're trying to limit snack time to 10, 15 minutes max. That the children can independently open the packaging themselves. I always use the example of Go-Gurt. Clearly, Go-Gurt was not designed packaging-wise by a parent. So if you could please make sure that your child is able to open the packaging, that is really important. We really do not want to have the staff touching your child's snack item, both for the sake of the staff safety as well as your child's safety. So if you could please make sure that you are packaging or repackaging in something your child can open. And then eat it quick, packaging, and filling. If you could please make sure the snack is something that will carry your child through till 12:50, that will be really helpful so that they can make it through to when they do have their lunch. We can't have any shared resources in the classroom, so there won't be any manipulatives or toys that will be shared in the classroom. The teachers are equipping the desks with everything that the children will need in addition to the supplies that have been asked. However, the days of playing in the play kitchen and things like that are currently on hold until we can be in an environment where we can safely share our resources. And then all of our classrooms are equipped with gloves and PPE supplies, hand sanitizer. All of our kindergarten classrooms have a functioning sink with soap, so the children will be able to wash their hands. So we are confident that we have put every possible resource in place to support the return to schools. Questions? Yeah, so if you can't find wipes, don't worry. I know they're very hard to find. I actually I got Lysol wipes delivered with my grocery order by mistake the other day. I did not call the store. I was so excited. So anyway, if you can't find certain supplies, that's okay. If down the road you do have them and you want to send them in, that would be really helpful. But we realize that there is a shortage, and it's very hard to find certain items. Okay. All right. So attendance and tardy. So students are expected to be present and on time, regardless of whether they are in seat or virtual. So if your child is virtual, you'll be getting communication on Friday specifically for our virtual learners. It will include the child's login information for their Google account, which is issued by the district. Every day, your child will log into a Google Meet, similar to what we're doing right now, and that will be their way of physically attending school. So the teachers will be live streaming anytime there's direct instruction or directions being given or whole class or whole group participation, and your child will access it in that manner. By being present on the Google Meet at 8:35 a.m., that will allow your child to be marked present if they are a virtual learner. If you are, actually 8:40 by the time homeroom starts, and then 8:40 is when attendance takes place. If you are attending school in person, we ask that you please try to get your child to school on time. It does become a little bit more challenging when we're bringing late children into the building. Certainly we'll take them. Things happen. We all have that. But on a routine basis, we ask that you please try your best to get your children to school on time. No cubbies. So there won't be any cubbies in use in the building this year to limit potential cross-contamination of children's materials and supplies. All student belongings will be kept at their desk. Their backpacks will hang on the back of their chairs or sit on the floor next to the desk. All of their supplies will be in the desk. No one will use your child's desk except for your child. So there's nobody sitting at your child's desk. There's nobody using your child's materials. It is theirs and theirs alone. And that will help us to prevent the spread of germs. So a Mountain Way in-seat student or student that's here in person, they will be in the same classroom all day. Related Arts will push into the classroom, so they will not be moving from room to room. They will have their devices. Like I said, in mid-September, they will be arriving. They will have snack time. We did talk about the snack protocols. They will have no shared resources. So even books that they get will be theirs and theirs alone. They won't be taking them and returning them from the classroom libraries or anything like that. And then the bathrooms don't really apply to our kindergartners because they're in the classroom, but the nurse visits, we do have a procedure in place where the teacher will call the nurse's office to let them know the child is on their way. We will always have 2 adults in the hallways as hallway monitors, assisting children in socially distancing in the hallway if they're moving to and fro the nurse's office or wherever. And then when they arrive at the nurse's office, their temperature will be scanned prior to entering the nurse's office. If they're exhibiting a fever or any COVID-like symptoms, they will be brought into the one side of the office, which would be the isolation side. And then if it's like a paper cut or whatever it may be, something that's non-COVID related, they'll be brought into the other side, the nurse's office side, which is like the healthy side. It's kind of like when you go to your pediatrician and you have 2 waiting rooms. It's the same concept. Couple of questions. Okay, so as far as your towel, if that's been asked of you, if you can just use a beach towel, that's fine, or like a bath towel is fine. The reason is we want to allow the children opportunities to get out of their seat and possibly do some stretching, maybe some yoga in the classroom. We're going to try to do some like small groups where they can sit on the floor. We want to be able to have them sit on the towels, or if they go outside, they can use it there as well. Please be mindful of taking the towel out and washing it from time to time as well. It will get dirty over time. You don't need to wash it every day per se, but just be cognizant that it's being used. So we want to make sure that they're laundered. Yeah, just one. You only need one. Yes, any child that's going to aftercare will keep their lunch in their backpack. And then aftercare, I'm sure we'll be articulating what their procedures are for lunch. Yep, I'm just about to talk about outside. Okay, so let's just talk quickly about what a Mountain Wave virtual student will look like. So they're expected to be present and in the Google Meet at 8:35. Attendance is 8:40, so you have a little bit of a window there. You'll remain logged into the Google Meet all day. The teachers will be going in and out of the live stream. So they will stream when direct instruction is being provided, but then when there's independent work, they will likely turn the camera off, which will allow for them to interact with individual students in their classroom and or interact with your individual student via virtual communication. So parts of the class will be live streamed, parts of it will not. They will participate in related arts whenever possible. So if, art and music, or if PE is in the classroom, then they'll live stream it. If Mr. Fiore takes the children outside for PE, it won't be live streamed, but what he'll do is he'll encourage your child at home to do a similar activity to what he's doing outside. So there'll still be a wholehearted effort at including them in all of the activities, regardless of whether it's being streamed or not. We will have regular check-ins with their teachers. So there is a window of time in the afternoon from 2:30 to 3 where the teachers will be able to connect with the virtual students as well as other students periodically. And so we're looking to make sure that the children who are remote are still developing a rapport and a relationship with their teacher and getting to know them as people in hopes that we're all together again, sooner rather than later is our hope, and I'm sure yours as well. Resources can be picked up by the parent. The teachers will communicate with you about that. And then all work will be submitted via Google Classroom and or whatever tool it's being assigned on. So if a teacher gives an assignment that is in IXL, platform we use, you'll get information about that. Then it will be through IXL. But if it's like a worksheet or something like that, the teachers will use Google Classroom to push it out. So things won't be emailed back and forth. We'll use Google Classroom as our portal. You'll receive a communication by the end of this week with your login for your child's G Suite account information, which is how you'll access Google Classroom and also the Google Meet. Questions? So the question is about if a child is homesick for a day or 2 days, we are not going to use the virtual classroom in that regard. The decision by the district was that virtual students will be virtual students and in-person students will be in-person students. So just like if you're absent on a regular school year, you'll be absent and you'll take that time to recover rather than to participate virtually in the schooling. That's because we have to code the children differently in Genesis, so that we are keeping track. We have to report those numbers out to the state. So our virtual students will access the virtual learning, but our in-seat students, when they're homesick, they'll focus on recovering and getting better. As far as symptoms that you're showing and whether or not a COVID test is required, in the parent communication that was sent last Thursday, there is the guidelines from the Department of Health. Those are the guidelines that we're following as a district. They're pretty standard across all districts. If you have any questions about what the requirements are associated with that, I encourage you to reach out to Nurse G. She's our school nurse here at Mountain Way, and she can certainly guide you through what you need to pursue should you start to exhibit symptoms or your child has symptoms of COVID. So if you need to switch from in-person to virtual, it's just a matter of sending me an email and the next day you can be virtual. The challenge is when you switch from virtual back to in-person, all of our classrooms our class lists are designed to minimize the number of students in the rooms, to maximize the social distancing that can be put into place. And as a result of that, we've had to repurpose and reassign a lot of our staffing. So when you re-enter into the district from being virtual, it can take up to 4 weeks to re-enter in person if there needs to be staffing modifications and things like that. So it's very simple to go from in-person to virtual. It's just a matter of an email and the next day you can be virtual because it doesn't impact the setup of the buildings. It's when you transition the other way that we need that extra time. And it won't always be 4 weeks. It's really on a case-by-case basis, but it could take up to 4 weeks. So the virtual students, the teachers will be communicating to schedule check-ins with the virtual students. And then when the teacher is live streaming and there's whole class instruction going on, the children will be able to use the chat feature, just like you are now, to ask questions. And if they're unable to articulate, like in a typed out sentence, what their question is, they can just do some kind of an indicator that they have a question, and then the teacher will interact with them. The teachers will walk the children through sort of what they're, they'll pick up on the process along the way. And it's really an iterative and fluid process where we're all learning together. So we'll find systems and methods that work well for everyone, but we're going to encourage the use of the chat initially. Good. Okay. Okay. Outdoor time. So the teachers are going to strive to get the children outside as much as possible. It's a catch-22. We want to get them outside because we want to get their masks off. We want to get them breathing fresh air and moving around and not sitting in one seat. But when we go outside, we cannot live stream because our Wi-Fi doesn't cover our outdoor areas. So our teachers need to be mindful of balancing getting the students mask-free time outside while making sure that our children who are at home are accessing direct instruction and not missing out on any of the instructional time that needs to be streamed. So our teachers will work to balance the two. That's why you might find, like, if the children are going to independently read for 10 minutes or so, or whatever it may be, maybe they're going to be working on a writing piece or something, then the teacher might say to the children at home, go find a comfy spot in your house and we're going to all work independently, and then we'll come back together at whatever, 10 a.m. And that will allow for the children at home to have a break from the computer screen, and it will allow the children in the classroom to have a break from the mask. So everybody's going to need different types of breaks throughout the day, and so we're going to really work hard to cater to everybody's needs. So there's really no answer to how often they'll be outside to take off masks. It's really going to be a day-by-day basis. We have enough zones that teachers won't have a problem being able to get outside. It's more going to be a scheduling thing for teachers of whether or not what their instruction looks like for the day. Some days there's more direct instruction. Some days it's more independent learning. It also depends upon the weather. I'm praying it just never rains. And we just kind of have to take it day by day and see what happens. Snack will Snack be outside? Snack might be outside sometimes. We'll see how it parallels with whatever activities are before or after it. It takes a long time to get the kids outside. So likely if they were going to do snack outside, they would do snack paired with another activity before or afterwards so that it would maximize that process of exiting and re-entering the buildings. Okay. All right. Questions. I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen so that I can see all of you. It's very, it's weird to talk to monsters and not people's faces. So I hope I was able to answer as many questions as possible. And if you had a question and you didn't get a direct answer, or you want to further discuss it, please feel free to reach out to me. We're all sort of learning along the way. I see there's okay, last two questions. Prepare your child. Oh, yes. So this is a really good question. You'd be surprised how many children need some prying from their parents in terms of coming into the building. And truth be told, we're not going to touch your children. We can't put our hands on it. We can't hold their hand, and we can't, try to like gently coax them off of you. But we're going to try strategies that will hopefully replace that. Positive words of encouragement, distracting them. I've actually been working with our guidance counselor, Dr. Carlisle, to come up with strategies that we can utilize to comfort those children and to make them feel safe and secure. I'd be lying to you if I told you that every child's going to come in whistling and happy with a smile on their face. They've been home with you for a long time. My own children are probably going to cry. They're already crying when I leave for work and they have to just stay home. So I understand as a parent how traumatic that is. A lot of times it's more traumatic for you than it is for them. And just know we'll do everything we can to support that process, and it's going to be a challenge, but we'll get through it together. I will be out there every morning, so I will help to try to ease that transition for them, and we'll get there. We will make it work, I promise. Is there an opportunity during the day for the children to get to know each other and socialize? Yes, so there is actually, we're embedding an SEL program into our school day. It's part of our morning meeting. So our kindergartners have morning meeting in the morning where it's like a social skills type of experience for them. And they'll start to build relationships with one another. They will not be socializing with children who are not in their class. And that is to prevent the spread of germs. We want to try to limit exposure as much as possible, but they will be socializing with the children who are in their classroom. And we will, the virtual students will also be part of that process in the morning meeting. So they'll also have the opportunity to socialize as well. Will shields be sanitized by teachers each day or coming home? So the shields will not be going home. And we are in the process of identifying how we can best sanitize them as a building for the children, but they will not be going home. A lot of times things that go home don't always come back. I'm sorry, it's just true. So we need to make sure that we keep them in school so that they're here and available for the children to use. Okay. Yes, each child has their own assigned shield that stays at their desk. There's no sharing of shields. And then the virtual students will not be seeing the children they will hear the children who are in the classroom, but they will not be seeing them for privacy purposes. So they'll be part of the morning meeting and everything, but they won't. All the children are sitting in rows. The desks are all in rows. They're 6 feet apart. They're all facing the same. It's a very like 1950s-esque look to the classroom in terms of how the desks are set up. And so the children who are virtual essentially become one of the desks in the row because the computer is on a desk in a row with all the others in the front of the room. So they'll be part of that sort of experience of that tunnel vision look into the school. And the reality is that's what we have to do to keep them safe. It's not ideal, but it's the world that we currently live in. And we're hoping that, praying that this is short term and that we can go back to a normal school environment. Virtual kids will see other virtual kids when the cameras are on. So that's going to be based upon just like a release to have the camera on. Any child that doesn't have a social media release, their cameras will not be permitted to be used, but they will see each other similar to how we're seeing each other now if you're virtual. We should pack extra masks. So I would strongly encourage you to pack an extra mask in the backpack. We do have disposable masks at school. So if a child's mask becomes, soiled or unusable, we can replace it. But if you want to pack an extra mask that your child is comfortable with, that would be really, really helpful. I think that would be a good practice. Am I sending a map of how pickup? Yes, I will send out on Friday. You'll receive a communication with exactly what arrival and pickup looks like with a map. So you'll be able to navigate. Any other questions? All right. If there are questions in the meantime, please feel free to reach out. We're only an email away. You can call, you can email, and we're really looking forward to welcoming you and your children to Mountain Way. Can you repeat about the virtual? Oh, I'm sorry. So yes, the virtual students will be in a meet similar to how we are now. So the children who are in the meet will be able to see each other from time to time unless they don't have a signed social media. So if you didn't sign that social media release form, if you said that your child cannot be seen, then their camera feature will be turned off in the admin dashboard, so they will not be able to use their cameras. There isn't staggered pickup because pickup is a very tricky thing in a pre-K to 2 building. One child with an untied shoe can derail pickup by 10 minutes. I know that sounds crazy, but it happens. So staggered pickup, and because there's students with, we would have had to do the classes by last name because the teachers could not have escorted their class outside and leave other kids in the room. So we had to just stagger our locations and make it a 20-minute pickup window. We did look at car pickup, but that was a traffic nightmare. And you pulling up and us finding your child and bringing them down, we'd be doing pickup till 4 p.m. every day. So that was not a feasible way to do pickup either. So Okay, everyone. Well, this is recorded, so I will post it for you. If you have any questions, please reach out. And I really look forward to welcoming you all to Mountain Way on Tuesday. Thank you for joining us today. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
A ver, vamos a